Amish and Marijuana. Do the Amish buy, grow, and sell weed? Picture the Amish community in your mind. Now, cannabis. Quite the strange mix, right? Yet you'll be surprised how these two cross paths in interesting ways. Ready to dive into a captivating tale of unexpected links between the Amish community and marijuana? So let's peel back the layers of this intriguing narrative. Imagine a world that seems untouched by time. That's the world of the Amish. It's a society driven by profound religious conviction, where life is beautifully simple, humble, and united. The Amish community is guided by the Ordnung, unwritten laws that constitute the essence of their day-to-day living. These rules influence everything from their attire to their use of technology, even to the relationships they build within and outside their community. Central to the Amish cultural identity is their devotion to hard work and independence. Their small, closely connected communities depend largely on collective efforts to maintain their way of life. Whether it's raising barns or harvesting fields, this communal spirit has been their lifeblood for centuries. Agriculture is not just their survival strategy, but also a testament to their bond with the earth. The meticulous Amish hands nurture vast fields of corn, wheat, or vegetables, and raise animals for dairy and meat products, a tradition handed down through generations. What's truly captivating is their innovative approach to farming. Even while shunning modern machinery, the Amish have devised strategies that magnify their yield, yet remain true to their principles. Techniques like using animals to plow, rotating crops, and adopting natural fertilizers resonate with their dedication to sustainability and eco-friendly practices. This proficiency has led to the production of top-notch goods, often sold in markets or to non-Amish customers, showcasing their reputation as master craftsmen and entrepreneurs. The Amish way of life seems to stand in stark contrast with a plant like marijuana, typically linked to contemporary counterculture or medicinal fields. Yet, delve a little deeper, and a captivating connection begins to take shape. The Amish's agricultural dexterity, their commitment to soil profitability, and adaptability within set boundaries, set an unusual scene for their potential interaction with contentious crops like marijuana or hemp. The ancient tradition-bound group stands surprisingly next to a symbol of current legal and cultural changes, showcasing intriguing contrasts worth a deeper study. It's impossible not to admire the Amish when it comes to their farming prowess and ingenuity. Their relationship with the land is generational, a connection that has allowed them to cultivate a wide range of crops, from everyday essentials to specialty produce. Their skills don't rely on modern techniques. They're deeply rooted in ancient wisdom, handed down from generation to generation. However, when it comes to growing marijuana, the nuances are fascinating. Practicality and profitability are two driving forces in the world of Amish farming. Regular crops like corn and alfalfa bring steady earnings, while in certain regions, tobacco stands as a potentially lucrative option. Interestingly, tobacco is considered a cash crop, something grown mainly for financial benefit rather than personal consumption. In a similar fashion, marijuana could also be classed as a cash crop. Yet its cultivation, especially if illicit, encompasses challenges that surpass just maintaining a crop. Legal constraints are important to note. As public opinion and regulations around the use of marijuana evolve, many Amish communities exist in spaces where its cultivation would directly clash with local or national laws. Known for their respect for honesty and lawfulness, the Amish could face not only legal ramifications, but moral quandaries within their community if they contravened these rules to grow marijuana. Yet human nature is a complex beast. The potentially significant profits from marijuana farming might allure some within the Amish community. An acre of well-cultivated marijuana could outvalue traditional crops, a temptation that might be difficult to resist for those looking for financial security for their family or community. Especially when farmland upkeep costs are rising, varying crops could seem like a practical but contentious choice. There are additional points of contention too. The Amish aim to steer clear of products or practices that might lead someone off the path. Given marijuana's links to recreational use and addiction, many staunchly religious Amish might view its cultivation, even for legal purposes, as incompatible with their faith. The demarcation between permissible and impermissible becomes even fuzzier with hemp, a similar but non-intoxicating plant. While the Amish possess the necessary skills and means to venture into marijuana farming, it strays markedly from their fundamental principles. When you also factor in potential reputation risks and community discord, it's understandable why this idea might cause a stir among traditional Amish families. However, as with many aspects of Amish life, individual decisions may differ, adding to the intricacies when examined more closely. When you picture the Amish, it's easy to conjure images of unwavering faith and strict customs. However, even with such a deeply traditional community, the sparks of curiosity and external influence exist. This is particularly relevant during Rumspringa, the Amish coming-of-age ritual, often misinterpreted by outsiders. Rumspringa generally happens during the tumultuous teen years and acts as a stepping stone from childhood to adulthood. It grants young Amish a rare peek into the modern world. This phase is when Amish teens might get to try driving, dress in fashionable wear, or even attend parties. As you can imagine, this sneak peek into English existence may lead them to experience things such as alcohol, and on rare occasions, marijuana. However, let's clear something up. Rumspringa might open doors for exploration, but the experiences widely differ from teen to teen. Not all Amish youngsters turn rebellious, and not every teenager will come across marijuana. Those who do might feel the push of curiosity or the pull of non-Amish peers. Some might experiment to blend in or get a richer understanding of the life they're about to choose or reject. Interestingly, this phase is temporary. Once they decide to be baptized into the Amish church, they're anticipated to wholly cast away external influences, including recreational drugs. Post-Rumspringa, it's uncommon for Amish adults to buy marijuana. The community's rules strictly discourage behaviors connected with indulgence or mind alteration. The focus is mainly on faith and responsibilities, with virtues like sobriety and self-control being promoted. Even purchasing something so closely linked to modern recreation could risk the values they ardently protect. Just the fear of community disapproval can act as a strong deterrent. Of course, there are always exceptions. Even though the traditional Amish lifestyle promotes avoidance of such behavior, some individuals might dare to skirt or shatter these rules. It's possible, albeit rare, that farmers dealing with outsiders might feel lured to privately purchase marijuana due to exposure to modern customs. Buying marijuana clashes dramatically with the Amish ethos, which rely heavily on adhering to restrictions that maintain health and communal tranquility. The brief juvenility might court such behaviors, but the fiercely protected Amish way of life makes the widespread use of marijuana unlikely. It does get us wondering how universal the struggle between tradition and temptation can be. Could the Amish, known for their simple, contented lifestyle, be mixed up in something as divisive as marijuana sales? It sounds unlikely at first, but as we dig a little deeper, this topic isn't as clear-cut as it first appears. The Amish aren't shy of rolling up their sleeves, whether it's large farming operations or the sale of homemade goods at local markets. They've transformed elbow grease into a way of life. Marketed for their superior quality and traditional craftsmanship, their products pull in those who are on a quest for the genuine article. However, the sale of marijuana seems a bit far-fetched, considering their conventional economic practices. There's no denying it. There's huge money in growing and selling marijuana where it's legal. For communities where farming is the bread and butter, the appeal of a product with such high demand could be tantalizing. But then we come across the first giant roadblock. It's legality. A number of Amish communities call home to places where marijuana is an illegal substance. Moreover, even in areas where marijuana has been legalized, they'd have to navigate through a maze of rules, licenses, and unwanted attention from outsiders, a far cry from their much-valued privacy. From a cultural perspective, selling marijuana poses bigger hurdles. The Amish built their life around values like modesty, simplicity, and distance from what they see as corrupt modern influences. Their faith would unlikely approve of selling a drug, irrespective of its legal standing. Add to this the stigma that still surrounds marijuana, especially for recreational use, and this venture appears highly improbable for most Amish, a group that typically shies away from even innocuous modern pleasures like TV or alcohol. However, what about the exceptions? There's always a possibility for a few individuals or splinter groups to deviate from the traditional path. Over time, stories have surfaced of Amish people quietly partnering with non-Amish in ventures such as selling raw milk or other specialized products. Considering the burgeoning CBD and hemp industries, cousins of marijuana but less contentious, it's plausible that a few pioneering farmers might dip their toes into these waters. However, a leap into marijuana sales would likely mean a radical departure from the community's traditional fabric. Another important aspect to ponder is the risk-reward equation. Selling to outsiders would necessitate dealing with a system that's quite complex and heavily reliant on today's logistic practices. For most Amish, this would equate to a departure from the lifestyle they've gone to great lengths to preserve. Even if this arrangement could be kept under wraps, the potential backlash, legal repercussions, and community alienation would likely tip the scales against any conceivable profit. So the question of the Amish selling marijuana seems largely theoretical. Their financial acumen and farming skills could make them apt for it, but the cultural and moral opposition within their close-knit communities is likely to prevail. Instances of deviation may occur, but the vast majority of Amish are more inclined to stick with their traditional trades, those in line with their beliefs and lifestyle. This conjecture only amplifies our curiosity about this frequently misunderstood group. Picture this: the Amish, known for their deep-rooted connection to the land. Arriving in North America in the 18th century, they survived and thrived through farming. Settling in fertile lands in places like Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Indiana, they mastered the art of agriculture their own way. Their techniques were all about self-sufficiency and sustainability, preserving their close connection to nature in a way that modern tech often breaks apart. Let's dive into their farming history a bit. They've cultivated a range of crops from the common grains like corn and wheat to specialized cash crops like tobacco. Surprised? Yes, the Amish grew tobacco, a crop often linked to controversy due to its addictive nature. They saw it as a pure business move and stayed disconnected from its consumption, a peek into how they handle crops that can raise eyebrows. Yet, over time, tobacco faced opposition in the Amish communities. The moral questions it raised and the impact on the community meant some decided to just stop growing it. This shows that when it comes down to money versus core beliefs, the latter ultimately prevails for the Amish. Apart from tobacco, they've adapted to the changing times in agriculture. They stay true to their old-school methods. Think horse-drawn plows, crop rotation, natural pest control, but what they grow and why has evolved with market trends. High-income crops like heirloom veggies or unique dairy products that appeal to niche markets have found their way into the Amish fields. Now, let's consider this: marijuana as a potential crop. This would put the Amish in a tricky position. Unlike tobacco or heirloom veggies, marijuana carries a contemporary cultural stigma and a maze of legal regulations. The Amish tend to stay away from legal tangles or ventures that could tarnish their reputation. They also generally steer clear of ventures that spark significant societal debate. Interestingly, the closest crop to marijuana is hemp, a crop they've grown traditionally for its fibers used in ropes and fabrics. Since hemp doesn't cause a high, it's potentially a cleaner fit with their farming goals and less likely to cause uproar. In today's world, as hemp gains legal recognition separate from marijuana, it might just find favor with the Amish for cultivation. The takeaway? The Amish are much more than just farmers. Their agricultural choices are reflections of their values, ethics, and priorities. History tells us they would not jump into something as controversial as marijuana farming without much thought. For them, farming is about more than just crops. It's about faith, community, and a blend of tradition and practicality that's uniquely their own, even in a world that's rapidly changing. The world of marijuana, filled with tricky legal hurdles, can be tough to navigate, and for the Amish communities, it presents an even more daunting task. The Amish, known for their minimal interaction with modern advancement, face an uphill climb when dealing with regulated sectors, including cannabis. The major hurdle lies at the convergence of state and federal law. Despite some states giving the green light to medicinal or recreational use of marijuana, it's still tagged as a Schedule I drug federally. This creates a murky legal scene where complying with state guidelines doesn't fully safeguard people or businesses from federal interference. This double bind of legality could cause a great deal of stress for the Amish, known for their peaceful avoidance of any battles with authorities. Going into the weeds, abiding by marijuana protocols demands meticulous record-keeping, securing licenses, and mastering tax paperwork. This runs counter to the Amish doctrine of simplicity and self-sufficiency. Keeping up to date with sales, reporting earnings, and untangling the complex regulations of cannabis distribution would necessitate significant dealings with government bodies. This is something the Amish would rather avoid. For instance, applying for a license may need access to technology and certain identification, which can prove challenging for communities that prefer to steer clear of such tools. Legal risks further deepen these pitfalls. Involvement in marijuana commerce, even in places where it's legal, could open up the individuals and their communities to penalties in case of accidental rule breaking. Missteps such as improper labeling or failing to meet zoning standards could result in healthy fines or legal action. For the Amish, where their standing is built on honesty and abiding by the law, such consequences could wreak havoc on their trust relationship with others, built painstakingly over many centuries. We also need to understand the societal implications. Legal issues don't just impact the Amish folks directly involved in the marijuana business, they create ripples across the entire community. Legal complications from an Amish farmer's marijuana ventures could attract unwanted attention from authorities or media, a distressful situation for a culture that cherishes privacy. The ethical conundrum adds another layer to this. Even as the world is growing increasingly permissive of marijuana, the Amish hold fast to values that underscore moral integrity and spiritual discipline. Engaging with an industry linked to vice, addiction, and modern customs may be seen as a violation of their religious beliefs, no matter what the law stipulates. Even if the entire nation legalized marijuana use or farming, the negative image associated with it among the Amish would likely stay the same. However, it's worth mentioning that some Amish communities have exhibited flexibility in legal affairs when their lifestyle is at stake. For example, they've managed to negotiate exemptions from certain laws, such as compulsory Social Security taxes or mandatory schooling beyond 8th grade. But delving into the marijuana business would necessitate much more engagement, monitoring, and tolerance of public scrutiny, pushing the boundaries of their adaptability. For a good number of Amish, the hurdles are just too substantial. The legal complications linked to marijuana mirror a larger cultural clash, a world of regulation, enforcement, and risk calculation meeting a world ruled by simplicity, moral clarity, and detachment from modern influences. Though some may be tempted by the financial prospects, the entangling legal scenario and potential for moral compromise makes it a route less likely to be taken by the Amish. The interplay between legal challenges and Amish values confines the marijuana question to the realm of the hypothetical. Their choice to live distinct from the modern world isn't merely tradition, it's a decision to evade the snares of bureaucracy, legal disputes, and moral gray areas. For the Amish, the complicated and tightly regulated nature of the marijuana industry is just another reason to stay true to their well-preserved lifestyle. The allure of the Amish lifestyle stems largely from the secrecy and self-sufficiency that envelops it. Unveiling the layers of their way of life often reveals intriguing snapshots, especially when they intersect with modern phenomena like marijuana use. Stories hinting at the connection between the Amish and this contentious plant are few and far between, but when they surface, they certainly grab attention. Take the sporadic incidents in the countryside, for example, where the local law has stumbled upon Amish individuals growing or carrying marijuana. While these instances are incredibly sporadic and typically on a small scale, they do elicit intrigue. The reason behind these rare encounters remain largely unknown: financial difficulties, peer influence, or merely curiosity perhaps. The Amish community's tendency to keep such matters under wraps only adds to the mystery. One such tale involves an Amish farmer in Pennsylvania who, it is claimed, cleverly hid marijuana plants amid his corn stalks. While he was eventually caught, the incident brought into focus the unique position of Amish farmers. Their agricultural expertise, coupled with their secluded habitat, enables them to discreetly plant covert crops like marijuana. However, these instances also underscore the harsh consequences that follow when these uncharacteristic behaviors are discovered. Another angle to this intriguing tale involves young Amish folks and their encounters with marijuana during their Rumspringa phase. This time of exploration outside their community often brings them face to face with worldly temptations, including drugs. While some Amish youth do dabble in marijuana, these experiences seem to arise more from curiosity rather than rebellion. When such issues come to light within the community, they are dealt with internally in line with their faith. Principles of forgiveness and redemption are key in addressing these incidents. For instance, youngsters experimenting with marijuana during Rumspringa are more likely to be guided back on track rather than being expelled. Though the community may show stricter responses toward adult cultivators, it always aligns with their value system. Even non-Amish folk have tried roping in Amish farmers into marijuana-related activities, considering their knack for farming and access to secluded lands. These attempts, however, seldom succeed due to the Amish community's resolve to ward off entanglements with the modern world. Amid these extraordinary tales, one thing becomes clear. Despite their seclusion and traditional lifestyle, the Amish do face modern pressures and temptations. Whether it's a brush with curiosity, a need for extra income, or a chance encounter, their paths sometimes cross with aspects of modern culture generally kept at bay. In the end, these stories are outliers, not norms. They underscore the human element within the Amish communities, where temptations are occasionally succumbed to, but their strong principles always guide them back. As the world around them deepens its relationship with marijuana, those isolated glimpses of Amish life underline their unyielding effort to uphold their identity, separate from the influences of the wider world. Let's ponder a bit deeper about the Amish and marijuana. It gives a whole new perspective on how the Amish communities are striving to maintain their traditions while simultaneously interacting with the modern world. They aren't locked in a time capsule like most people believe. They're in a constant contact with modernity, trying to maintain a careful balance. It's a reality that the Amish have to occasionally open the door to the outside world. The real skill lies in how far to open that door and under what conditions. An example mirrors this strategic approach, their careful use of marijuana. For a few, it might stir curiosity, but the collective approach remains one of caution, driven by their shared values and religious beliefs. Even the Amish are challenged by the temptations, economic pressures, and changing cultural norms we all face. These influences can be seen, for instance, during Rumspringa, a time of exploration and potential experimentation for Amish youth. But these moments, rare as they are, prove to be an opportunity rather than a departure from their deeply seated beliefs. It's important to note that the economic pressures affecting the broader society do not leave the Amish untouched. The traditional backbone of their economy, farming, faces challenges as land prices soar and markets fluctuate. The potential profits from growing crops like marijuana might be tempting to some, yet they keep a steady course, choosing paths that align with their spiritual and cultural identity. What's truly remarkable is how they resolve conflicts. If someone steps out of line, they opt for reconciliation instead of harsh punishment, firmly standing against the retributive systems prevalent in the modern world. This technique not only maintains their cherished way of life, but also safeguards their unity and privacy. However, it's almost impossible to completely shut the world out. External influences seep in through different channels. It could be through business transactions, tourists, or just living near non-Amish communities. Each time they encounter modernity, they carry the balancing act of retaining their values while adapting to new realities. The tales regarding marijuana are not about moral failures or breaches of faith. Instead, they offer an insightful peek into how tradition intersects with modernity. Individual struggles exist among the Amish too. They make decisions based on a mix of personal, economic, and community factors. Yet the commitment to maintaining faith, family, and simplicity remains unwavering in this complex world. Such narratives bring us an important truth about the Amish culture. They are not stuck in a bygone era, but are living in evolving communities. As the world spins faster each day, the Amish continue to adjust and resist when needed. Their approach to modern challenges, including marijuana, shows us the importance of purposeful choices, enduring values, and the power of community in facing any challenge. You might be surprised to learn there's a new crop catching the eye of Amish farmers, and no, it's not marijuana. It's hemp, the lesser-known cousin of marijuana, and it's making waves across the United States. For the Amish, hemp is more than a trendy crop. It's the perfect balance of practicality, tradition, and modern opportunity. So why is hemp winning over these traditional farmers? It all comes down to versatility. Hemp can be spun into rope, woven into textiles, or even transformed into biodegradable plastics. Its eco-friendly benefits align perfectly with the Amish commitment to sustainability. Much like flax for linen or grains for flour, hemp fits seamlessly into their farming methods, offering a chance to meet the rising demand from non-Amish customers. And here's the kicker: hemp is federally legal, as long as its THC levels stay under 0.3%. Unlike marijuana, it doesn't carry the same stigma or legal issues. For the Amish, who value honesty and lawfulness, this makes hemp a safe and appealing choice. It's an economic opportunity that doesn't compromise their spiritual or ethical values. Still, hemp farming isn't without its challenges. Some Amish might feel uneasy about its association with marijuana, fearing societal judgment or moral decline. More conservative groups may wonder if hemp aligns with their principles of self-reliance or if it distracts from their traditional way of life. But for those willing to take the leap, the potential rewards are hard to ignore. Pioneering Amish farmers have already begun exploring hemp, producing everything from CBD oils to industrial products. The results? Promising. With land prices on the rise, hemp profits can be a game changer, funding community projects like barn raisings or new schools. It's an opportunity to build a brighter future while staying rooted in their values. Hemp, in a way, represents the Amish ability to adapt without losing their identity. It's a crop that bridges tradition and modernity, proving that change doesn't have to mean compromise. For cautiously embracing this new opportunity, the Amish demonstrate their resilience and thoughtful approach to progress. Whether hemp becomes a widespread staple or remains a niche endeavor, it's a testament to the Amish's delicate balancing act with the modern world. It shows that tradition and innovation can coexist, creating a harmonious blend of the old and the new. Hemp isn't just a crop. It's a symbol of how thoughtful, intentional adaptation can strengthen communities without sacrificing their core values. The Amish are known for their deep-rooted traditions, but one of their most impressive qualities is their ability to adapt. Even in a world that's constantly evolving, they've managed to strike a delicate balance between old customs and new realities, which begs the question, could cannabis, whether marijuana or hemp, be the next chapter in their story? With shifting laws, booming markets, and evolving societal norms, even this steadfast community might find itself considering a new path. Cannabis is shaking up the agricultural world. Legalization for medical and recreational use is gaining ground globally, while hemp's reputation as a versatile, federally legal crop continues to grow. For the Amish, who rely on their land as both a sacred resource and a means of income, these changes could spark curiosity and perhaps even opportunity. Take Amish farmers, for example. Rising land prices and the unpredictable agricultural market have made farming more challenging than ever. The financial lure of hemp, with its uses in CBD oils, superfoods, and sustainable products, could be hard to ignore. The Amish's experience in organic, chemical-free farming gives them a natural advantage in this field, aligning perfectly with a modern, health-conscious market that values purity and sustainability. It's not hard to imagine Amish farmers becoming highly sought-after suppliers for these premium products. But don't expect the Amish to leap into the cannabis industry without careful thought. Their cautious approach to technology, like avoiding automated farming equipment or online marketplaces, could present challenges in navigating a sector that demands precision, machinery, and compliance with intricate regulations. For marijuana in particular, the required record-keeping and security measures might feel like a bridge too far. Even hemp, while simpler to manage, would require a shift in farming practices and a readiness to engage with a plant that still carries stigma in conservative circles. Interestingly, younger Amish might be the ones to influence this decision. Through Rumspringa, many experienced life outside their communities, gaining fresh perspectives on the world, including cannabis. They may view it not as a moral issue, but as a legitimate opportunity for agricultural and industrial growth. Their exposure to non-Amish viewpoints could spark important conversations about diversifying farming practices to ensure long-term financial stability, all while safeguarding Amish values. It's possible that hemp could become a dividing line between progressive and conservative Amish groups. More forward-thinking districts might explore hemp farming, while stricter communities stick to their traditional crops. This wouldn't be unprecedented. There are already differences among Amish groups regarding electricity, technology, and interaction with the modern world. Hemp could become yet another point of ideological debate within the community, blending economic potential with cultural tension. Ultimately, the Amish's approach to cannabis is unlikely to be a simple yes or no. Instead, it presents a spectrum of possibilities. Whether they embrace hemp for sustainable fibers, experiment with small-scale CBD production, or choose to steer clear entirely, their decision will be thoughtful and grounded in their faith and values. Whatever path they take, it will reflect their ability to adapt without losing sight of who they are. As they navigate this modern challenge, the Amish will hold fast to their core philosophy. Progress doesn't have to come at the expense of identity. It's all about balance. And if there's one group uniquely equipped to find that balance, it's the Amish. Their unwavering dedication to simplicity, community, and self-reliance will guide them as they explore this intriguing new frontier. Guess what? The connection between the Amish and marijuana is not as straightforward as you might think. It's multifaceted, intricate. It cannot be wrapped up in just a few words. Intriguing, right? From cultivating hemp for commercial purposes to exploring the mysteries of Rumspringa, the Amish community never stops to amaze us, surpassing our preconceived stereotypes. What's your perspective on this intricate relationship? Share your thoughts with us below. Oh, and remember to tap that like button and subscribe for more narratives that will make you see the world in a fresh way. Cheers for turning into savvy results.